got a mountain of legal developments I got to plow through with all of you here because it's that important to know, that important to actually get and assess. And I got the perfect guest to do it. Senior legal analyst Norm Eisen, former House Judiciary Special Counsel in Trump's first impeachment trial, and CNN opinion contributor Sophia Nelson, former House GOP Investigative Committee Counsel. So first of all, first things first, we got the fire hose going. We're all drinking through it. A lot of cases to get through. When it comes to this major development today, this pause in this case before Judge Chutkan, it is very significant, isn't it?
It is. We're on the clock in that case because trial was set for March 4th.
Yep.
We're in December. We're counting less than 3 months to get to that case. And the question is, how many days are going to be eaten up as we have these appeals? There's two going on. There's a process going on in the Supreme Court. There's a process in the Court of Appeals. Both, though, are moving at extraordinary speed. We don't know what the terminus will be. If they take 30 or 60 or 90 days off the clock, you still get that trial. Instead of March, it's a trial that begins in June. You get that trial before November. If it takes much longer, it gets tougher and tougher, and it matters so much because of the connection between your 2 points, Laura. If you look at like that big New York Times poll where Trump was leading Biden in the swing states, if Trump has a single conviction and sentencing, there's a 14-point swing. So there's a connection between the trial date and the election date.
Sophia, are you ready for my dramatic reading tonight? It's coming. It's coming right now. It's a little bit of a Grinch Who Stole Christmas moment, and I'll tell you why. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? You know what I'm talking about. So apparently, Trump's attorneys have been arguing about that clock, because we all know that you never, ever should actually be serious in a filing for the court. But here you are. He asks about and talks about the proposed schedule, and they say, this is actual quote in legal filing. This proposed schedule would require attorneys and support staff to work round the clock through the holidays, inevitably disrupting family and travel plans. It is as if the special counsel growled with his Grinch fingers, nervously drumming, I must find some way to keep Christmas from coming, but how? Now, you've been in private practice. You've served honorably in government as well. Is this even remotely persuasive to a court as the idea that you've known this schedule all along and now you're telling me that it's the Grinch who's doing it?
Well, listen, two things. First of all, they are unserious. We all know that. So let's move on. Secondly, the judge did give him a stay. Judge Chutkan did something that other people were really not happy with today. And I think that she made an interesting choice given the fact that no judge likes to be overturned. So if it goes to the Supreme Court or a court above her and they come back and say there is not going to be a trial because he does have presidential immunity, there's a problem. I agree with everything Norm said about the timeline and the process. It all depends on how fast this moves and how fast they come back. One question I would ask you, Norm, because you'll know this better than me, is can she do this parallel, or the reason she stopped it is because she can't, for the reasons I said? I'm not really sure.
Trump's argument is, I am totally immune as president. It's a losing argument, by the way. However much time gets eaten up, at the end of that, they're going to say, no, you're not immune.
Right.
But the nature
of hold on. Is it that certain?
I think so. He's not president.
It's inimical to American law, Laura. The whole idea of America is, you know, there used to be somebody in charge who was above the law, who was the law, the king. We started a country in which everybody is subject to the Constitution. Judge Chutkan wrote a very persuasive opinion. There's never been a case holding a president absolutely immune. I think this court, the Supreme Court, is going to toss that out. For sure, this panel in the D.C. Circuit, you've got...
they're wild.
It's a strong panel for the government. They're not going to recognize that. So, but the problem that Sophia points to is, when you've made an argument that, hey, I'm not supposed to be in this court at all, binding Supreme Court precedent to Jack Smith and Tanya Chutkan's credit, they followed the law. While that argument that Trump is making, you have no right over me at all, while that's going on, you've got to pause most of the case. That's what Tanya Chutkin did. It's the honorable thing to do.
Well,
And they
that's
get
Chutkin,
Christmas
though.
now.
I mean, the Who bills are all, the roast
good.
beast is getting ready to be consumed. I love
Yeah,
it.
they get Christmas.
It's on a rocket docket in the D.C. Circuit and in the Supreme Court. It's going to be decided, I think, the most likely, nobody knows for sure, the most likely, the odds cluster around 60 days.
Yeah,
that just means we go from March to April to May, maybe to June. You can still get a trial in before the election on that schedule.
Of course, all of this, while Judge Chutkin may be pausing it, those who are building the case and preparing for trial are not stopping, or they ought not to stop what they're doing. Ken Chesebro, for example, we heard the audio tapes and we have some information about what he's telling those in different states. That's a very important point, because the witnesses, those who might testify against Trump and other actors, they will not have a pause in preparation. They'll still be held to account for that guilty plea, for what they must say on trial truthfully. They don't have a break.
Laura, you were a prosecutor. You know the prosecutors don't rest. I worked on committee staff. You worked. We don't sleep. There were days you don't sleep. So I think it is actually to Trump's disadvantage that they're not, his lawyers kind of did this whole pause and we need Christmas thing, actually, for all the reasons you stated.
I mean, Chesebro shows that Trump knew about the electors plot while he was still the president. So the immunity aspect of it, the whole thing comes down to, well, yes, but it also comes down to the immunity argument that everything you do while you're the president is not immune from prosecution. If you knew about criminal behavior, perhaps.
How could that?
Doesn't that apply to Joe Biden then? If he don't, I'm sorry, I'll behave myself.
Are we bringing logic? Hold on. What now?
How could that be the law? Once you were elected president, it would allow you to plan bank robberies.
There's my point.
Kidnappings and even murder in the Oval Office. It can't be.
Absolutely.
But your
then
conduct as
You have to go
president
back to the
allows
framers' intentions.
But hold
this
on.
is ridiculous.
But
anyway, go ahead.
For the average person thinking about how the Supreme Court takes a case, based on how ridiculous you are describing it, why would the Supreme Court, they have an option
Because it
not
needs to be
take
settled.
It, they are just doing it for that reason, to say, you think so. And I don't know. I wish I could be as confident in
This is
all
clear,
the courts.
well, I mean, you got Article 1, Article 2, Article 3. You've got the judiciary and the executive and the Congress, right? And I think that in this case, the Supreme Court and the courts want to be clear about what is presidential power, what is presidential immunity. We need to know that going forward so that this never happens to us again, because this is a kangaroo clown show, in my humble opinion.
Look, it is possible that the right now they're deciding, are they going to take up the question or not? They made, and they're going to get a brief from Trump on the December 20th. They also do not want to be accused of being Grinch-like. I was a defense lawyer, so I had to represent the Grinch, okay? That was my client base. They don't want to be accused. They may decide their last business day is December 22nd. They'll say, hey, we are going to consider this. And their determination might be cert denied. They may say, no, Chutkin was right. I think they'll probably take it up.
Yeah.
I think the votes are there, and they're going to say in some form or fashion, there is no absolute
I think they're going to be anonymous, too. I think they're all going to agree.
Unanimity of the Supreme Court, well, that will be something to behold. Norm and Sophia, both of you, thank you so much.